Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua today addressed the nation.
Kenyans have told me that they have analyzed and decided that Rigathi Gachagua needs to be the preferred presidential candidate of the United Representative Government 2027 general elections. Kenyans have instructed me to persuade my colleagues that I'm the best bet to guarantee a first round win, and that in their assessment I have the energy, I have the trust of the people, I have the leadership qualities, I have the experience, the infrastructure, the capacity, and the political network to deliver that victory.
And in his address to the nation, Rigathi Gachagua touched or talked about so many issues.
And here what we have done, I have asked, the mountain is very simple. I have consolidated, it's good. Just make sure Kasongo does not divide the mountain. Make sure. Just make sure the small parties and wheelbarrows he's introducing go nowhere. They must fail ab initio. Yeah? Because we know what is happening. And I've told the people of Kenya to appreciate and understand why I was consolidating the mountain. It's because the mountain vote is huge, and this vote, when it's united, is good for the country.
And for sure, we can't talk about all those issues. But in this video, I want us to focus on this particular part of Rigathi Gachagua's address to the nation.
Is Rigathi running for president? The answer is yes. There are many people. There are many people. There are many people, including supporters of my colleagues in the United Opposition. I've seen them on social media and in public platforms advancing a ridiculous proposition that Rigathi, his work is to remove William Ruto and give leadership to others. Ati hiyo ndio kazi yake. Ati Rigathi has a beef with William Ruto because he removed him from office, and therefore he should just help us to remove Ruto and anoint somebody else. Rigathi is not a kingmaker. Rigathi is king. Let me say, I am not mobilizing Kenyans to remove William Ruto as president because of bitterness, no. Because of vengeance, no. It's my desire to have a good country. It is because I'm a patriot and I must apply the God-given ability to mobilize Kenyans for the benefit of the country. I'm not doing it because I have nothing personal against William Ruto. I have everything against what he stands for and what he does. I want good leadership in this country. And I'm offering myself for that position of president.
Because from that part of the address, it is clear that Rigathi Gachagua will definitely be on the ballot in 2027.
And let nobody tell you that because I was removed from office, I cannot run. Section 75 of our Constitution says, yes, anybody removed through that method should not vie. But Section 99, Sabbatical 3, and the two sections must be read together, that anybody who has a challenge on matters of Chapter 6 of integrity cannot be stopped from vying until and unless he or she has exhausted all the remedies provided by the Constitution, all the way to the Supreme Court. And the two sections, the framework of the Constitution were clear. They must be read together. We are in court, in the Court of Appeal. We believe the Court of Appeal will give justice to Rigathi Gachagua and his supporters. In the unfortunate event that they also pronounce themselves in an absurd manner like the High Court, we still have another chance at the Supreme Court. In the meantime, we are preparing for elections. President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto had very serious case against them of murder, rape, displacement, genocide, very serious things against them. But the court said no, they are innocent until, and they must be allowed to run. And Kenyans said, we will decide. And they ran and they won.
So I want you to listen to the rest of that part, because it's going to form the basis of this analysis. Just pay very close attention, because for me, I tend to think that the message was directed to two individuals. That is Edwin SIFUNA and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Watch.
My countrymen, there comes a time in life when a patriot must make sacrifices for his nation. That time is now. As I leave Wamanyoro today, the road leads to only one place now. Forward to 2027. Forward to the liberation and restoration of our country's dignity, and forward to the Kenya you have been yearning and aspiring for. I'm ready to walk this road with you, and I stand ready to take on this fight. I assure you that the United Alternative Government is committed to ensuring fair, transparent, verifiable, credible, and democratic 2027 election, and the liberation of the Kenyan nation and the restoration of the dignity of the Kenyan people. May God bless Kenya. May God help us liberate our great nation. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you paid very close attention to that part of Rigathi Gachagua's statement. And my take are as follows, because for me, what Rigathi Gachagua has done, he has actually buried the presidential ambitions of Edwin SIFUNA and those of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And I can confidently say that from that statement, if Rigathi will be allowed to be on the ballot, rest assured, William Ruto is going to be the next president again. Why am I saying this? Number one, from that statement, I tend to think that Rigathi is actually leaving his options for 2027 open. Just listen to me, don't misquote me. Rigathi is saying he will be on the ballot, and that Kenyans have told him that he's the best suited. Which means, should something happen which will make him not be eligible to run, Rigathi might actually make a deal with the president. And this rumor that Rigathi will be in the US and President Ruto will also be in the US, you should not take it lightly. The deal could be on how to ensure that Rigathi becomes a presidential candidate. Because let us not run away from fact. The fact is, today, if elections were called in the Republic of Kenya, and you have Rigathi running, you have Ruto running, you have Kalonzo running, you have Edwin SIFUNA running, based on numbers alone, Rigathi will emerge the victorious one. Rigathi will emerge victorious. That's a fact we cannot argue with. And Rigathi understands this. So for me, he's leaving his options open, that should I not be allowed to run, then I can ask for a running mate. Or I can now work with someone else. I can even work with William Ruto if I'm cleared. So that's number two. And this is something which I've been saying. Rigathi is focusing all his energies on the party called DCP. No shortcut, DCP. Rigathi does not care about who will become the next president. Because if he cared about who will become the next president, the tone of this statement or this speech would have been different. But it's not. Which just confirms one thing. He will be on the ballot. And if Rigathi will be on the ballot, how will this affect the other presidential candidates? And why will Rigathi be on the ballot? Rigathi will be on the ballot because his focus is not 2027. Rigathi Gachagua's focus is past is post 2027. For 2027, Rigathi is focused on building the party DCP. He wants to have as many MPs, as many senators, as many women reps, as many MCs as possible. Once he achieves that, then he can now focus on becoming the next president in 2032. So his focus now is building his party. And because that is his main focus, is that he doesn't care about who becomes the next president. So that's number two. Number three, the people who will be negotiating with Rigathi will find it very difficult. And he's already laying that foundation. Now, Rigathi believes that most Kenya wants him to run. He also believes that he has the numbers. Then you want to bring Sifuna or Kalonzo or Matiang'i to negotiate with him. Now, we all know that Rigathi ni mtu wa shares. The first question is going to ask these guys, let our numbers, bring the numbers on the table. Some of them will not be able to produce those numbers. And that's where the problem is going to begin. And Rigathi understands this. So it's going to give hell to those people who will be negotiating. Because let's say Rigathi is bad from running, and yes, the people, he can ask these guys, I'm not running, I have a presidential candidate, support him. What will they do? Nothing. And importantly, and for me this is the worst of it, this statement by Rigathi is going to change the game plan for the opposition completely. You and me know that none of the current opposition leaders can defeat Ruto. But they can defeat him if they do one thing, if they unite. But is that unity guaranteed? Not very guaranteed. Rigathi is now coming, and his entry into the equation now changes even the game plan. The game plan for the opposition was now narrowed down to two people, Sifuna and Kalonzo, either of them becoming the presidential candidate. But now we are introducing Rigathi, because their initial plan was you combine the Kamba and the Luya, then you just need to bring the Kikuyus and you'll be home and dry. And it's now changing all that. Yeah. So for me, the winning formation for the opposition, if Rigathi Gachagua is on the ballot, is going to be a bit complex. We might end up with a situation where we have Matiang'i as a presidential candidate, we have Kalonzo as a presidential candidate, Sifuna as a presidential candidate, and of course, Rigathi Gachagua also as a presidential candidate in 2027. That's going to change the equation completely. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.